Do, 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 do. Nah, I'm joking. We don't have a theme song today because we're going live for our Monday night review. It's a bit of a different time, but with that being said, 3, 2, 1, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight, I have Andy, Mus, George, and Carl, and we are the Monday Blues, coming off the back of a satisfactory win against North Melbourne on Good Friday at Marvel Stadium. Quickly go around the ground, see how the long weekend was for everyone. Andy, I'll throw it to you.
I'm good. Sorry, bro. I was distracted. What was your question? This is not a good start.
How was the long weekend?
Long weekend was it was okay. I had a few family commitments, unfortunate family commitments. Hung out with a friend, Jenna, on Friday night and had a ball with her. That was great. And yeah, man, just chilled. Really, it feels like a lifetime ago that we played. I don't know. It feels like a while. How you boys going?
Georgie?
Well.
Or Carl?
Carl, you go?
Yeah, well, no complaints here, mate. Good we got the win on the weekend. On Friday, sorry. Obviously makes the weekend a lot better. You can kick back and relax and watch the other games. You know, yeah. Georgie?
Yeah, likewise, mate. It was nice to have a no cardiac arrest and a nice, mostly relaxing afternoon at the footy on Friday. Long weekend was good. Happy Easter to anyone who celebrates, of course, for yesterday. So celebrated Easter. I feel like that, the chubby German kid from The Simpsons. Right now I'm like, don't make me run. I'm full of chocolate. that scene where Homer's chasing him. That's me right now. So, but no, other than that, it's also Syrian New Year today. So I do know there's a few Syrians that tune in. So happy Syrian New Year to anyone tuning in. So a lot of festivities, but back into the swing of things tomorrow. But our first live review, exciting.
Yeah.
It
How are you, Johnny?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm all right. It's good.
How's your phone?
Don't even know what day it is. I've been without a phone. Without a phone for half a day. Smashed the screen. Lovely. Always good. It's good to have a break and long weekend. Good win. When was it? Friday.
It was
Friday. Blood pressure monitor stayed at home, which was good. Nothing to report, Amal. Yeah.
No, it was just a breezy weekend. Didn't do much. Obviously, we're still in Ramadan, so fasting, trying to keep up with sleep and everything like that. But other than that, enjoyed the win. That was good. For those watching along, thanks for joining. 9 o'clock on a Monday night, night before we all return back to work, or most of us at least anyway. Let us know how your weekend was, how your long weekend was in the chat. How did you find it after the win? Was it relaxing? Did you get on the piss? What did you do? Let us know. Anyway. North Melbourne versus Carlton. Carlton wins 21-11, 137 to North Melbourne's 12-9, 81. Now, if I recall correctly, the preview, we had some predictions up about leading goal scorer and best on ground and winning margin and everything like that. And I think a few of us got relatively close, very, very close, actually. I think we one of them was that we tipped Mackay to kick 6. I think there was a couple of us that tipped Mackay to kick 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, or I think that was you, Carl.
8, 9, 10.
And Mackay got really, really close. We predicted that there was going to be quite a big winning margin. Myself, I said 10 goals, and we won by 56 points. But best on ground, who would you say was best on ground coming off the back of the predictions for that game? Would you say Harry McComas?
Here we go.
No comment.
No comment.
I think he was close. We'll go with close.
What more does he need to do?
Oh, look, mate. He had a good game, eh?
Yeah, he did. Hey, the funniest thing about going to the footy now is when Harry kicks a goal, it's just that little side glance to Mus, and it's like he doesn't even celebrate. Like it's not even like a wholehearted. He's just like.
You know what? I'll keep on this if he keeps bringing performances like that. Keep it coming.
Absolutely.
I think
How
Moose
weird
wants
was
to see Moose wants to see 300 good consecutive games from him to be happy.
Hey,
That's
to
fair.
be fair, so do like all of us do. How weird was it to not stress?
It was weird.
It was so strange to sit there and like, all right, we're up by 8 goals or whatever, and like we're not losing these, and it felt. I don't want to use the word flat because we won by 10 goals, but I'm so used to the adrenaline pumping and like Georgie looking at his heart rate.
Yeah.
Me and Carl giving each other side eyes.
It was a foreign feeling. It definitely was.
Yeah. Hey, I could
know
get used to it.
I reckon
get
a
used
lot comes down to opposition supporters are a bit, how you going for North?
What, the whole 4 of them?
Bro, they were very, very quiet
Yeah.
throughout the whole game. So
atmosphere,
it made it different to when you're playing a Collingwood or a Richmond or an Essendon.
Bro, that's because we're a proper club.
Yeah,
What's North Melbourne, man? Let's be real. You could give them another 10 flags. They will still be another St. Kilda, just irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, bro. You're just North Melbourne. You're probably going to fold one day. So
Rough.
I don't know.
Look, to be fair, their supporters turned up. There was quite a few of them at the game. And prior to the game, George and I were paying close attention to the the pre-game video, the player introduction video that they put up. George, do you remember that?
Indeed.
And in Moose's words, it was the most mesomalactic video I've ever seen in my life.
Fantastic.
It's
I'd love
like-
to have a look.
It's like they it's like North Melbourne decided to wake up the players at 5 o'clock in the morning and get them to read off a script that, this is my name and this is my number and this is the club that I used to play for. It's like they almost did not want to be there. It was horrible to watch. I think North need to look into that and try and improve the quality, the production quality of that video, because it was bloody horrible.
But they've only got like $20 to spend. It's North Melbourne, bro.
It was a rough video to watch. Anyway, first quarter. What do we think, Jets?
Carl, I want you to take this, Carl.
Tell you what, it was a bit shaky the first 10 minutes. Looked a bit, how you going? Started doing stress ones. You know, Andy, how it is.
I do know it is.
It's definitely a slow start.
There has to be always a bit of, something that's not positive we have to bring up. But no, it was good, man. We finally found our feet. Probably should have been up more by quarter time, but it was good to see him get up and going. Yeah.
Yeah, 5-6 felt a bit underwhelming. Like I felt like we dominated the second part of the first quarter, but we just couldn't hurt them on the scoreboard. And to North's credit, I mean, they kicked 3-1. I think it was 3 something.
3-2.
3-2.
Yeah.
And they took their chances, and they're so exciting. They really are. Like, honestly, like, all the banter aside, if you're a North supporter, you got a lot to look forward to. You got a lot of good young talent. Wardlaw, Curtis was amazing. McKercher, which is Moose's boy. They're really exciting. Sheasel, obviously. So when they were 3-1 up, 3 goals to 1, it obviously weren't stressing, but it's exciting to see a bottom team, put on a bit of a show. It's exciting for their supporters as well. But yeah, Harry had a ripper first quarter, I felt. So I think that kind of took the game away from North early, Harry's game early.
I did mention, I think, just before the bounce, I predicted we'd have a bit of a slower start and then we'd get into the game pretty quickly. But I did also say that it's like, it not meaning to sound, putting them down or anything, but it's kind of like their grand final, right? Like this is their biggest attendance of the year. I don't mean to sound rude.
This is it.
but they'll be a very good side. They'll be a very good side in a couple of years, right? They've got the crux of a fantastic midfield. They need a key forward to help out Lucky. They need when Logue comes back and a key defender, they'll be okay. They'll be all right in a couple of years' time. And I think they're like they didn't play like a Clarkson side. I mean, Clarkson side would have been that dirty, but they would have gotten away with it if it was Hawthorn, right, back in the day. But big crowd. they've obviously got the partnership and a Good Friday appeal. It's kind of like the grand final. It's the biggest draw card they're going to get all year. So they're going to want to come out of the blocks. They're really going to want to fire, put pressure on us. We've had the bye as well. So, just to see how we respond to that as well. But, kudos to us. We very quickly, order was restored. I think there was a few contentious frees at the start as well. They were umpires were happy to pay.
Marchbank had a North top on in that first quarter. Marchbank was actually playing for North Melbourne, it felt. He's bloke, man.
A question for you guys, like Marchbank v Kemp, one-on-one. I feel like Marchbank's a better one-on-one defender compared to Kemp. Kemp is more sort of like, in the third defender coming out, spalling, intercepting. He had a couple of moments, though. He had a couple of, off moments, and then we'll talk about, Boyd sitting on his face and then the on-field stuff. So, it was a bit shaky at the start, but Wiedering quickly restored some order to that. How solid is he?
How good is Weeder's field kicking? I don't think he gets open enough. His one-on-one work, everyone talks about it. We all go on about it. It's brilliant. He's a brilliant defender, but his field kicking, I just have so much trust in him, just to hit up a target. And there's not many defenders who are good at both, or who are elite at both. And I without looking at his stats and all that, it just feels to the naked eye he's an elite field kick. So that's something that we've really missed coming out of defense. We've had that with Boyd, but having Weeders with that skill set as well is a really big tool to have in our toolbox. So McGovern in the back line as well can spot up a target, and we're using the corridor a lot more often. So it's good.
Wiedering's return was good. You can see that there was obviously some fire in the bellies. I can't remember if it was the second quarter or the third quarter where Larkey and Wieders got into a bit of a blue.
Third, I think.
I think it was the third or the fourth. McGovern took out Larkey. Larkey decided to respond. Obviously, threw McGovern down, sort of neck first. The ground, and Wiedering was very choice with his words and actions.
Yeah. Wieders came in and said, "Yeah, you slowed down, you little dog." yeah.
Wieders is like the older cousin. He's the older cousin that you met high school fights. I want to message my cousins.
Quickly in the chat, why was Wieders so mad on the field? I think it was his first game back, and he was up against a relatively good full forward in Larky, and there was a few contests that Larky got the better of him, and he was pissed, and that's just what you expect from Wieders, right? That guy is out there to win every single one-on-one that's thrown his way against any sort of full forward or key forward in the competition. If he doesn't win it, he's pissed.
Well, Larky's generally had the better of him over the last however many times they've played. So, and I think Larky is that one opponent that really gets under Wieders' skin. So
you could tell that one contest, if you recall, it might have been the second or third, where Larky took that mark and Wiedering frustration punched the ground. Like, he doesn't like losing to anyone, but Larky in particular, I reckon there's a bit of fire there. So this is going to be a great matchup over the next decade.
Now, Carl, you were pretty happy when Marchbank got concussed. Can you talk to us about that?
A bit harsh there.
I'm joking. But with obviously Marchbank going out, who do you think comes in?
Kemp, without a doubt. You know what? He did make a couple of mistakes in the first Marchbank, but there was one where I disagree, where Larky was holding the arm and he got pinned for it. It looked like he was holding Larky. I was a bit stiff there. But yeah, definitely Kemp. I can't see Lewis Young coming back in as long as Wieders is there.
Inshallah,
he's going to struggle.
Do you like? Is that like the general consensus? Kemp's got to play with Wieders. If Marchbank's out, they can't coexist, because that's going to be the question. Like, we've got the question across a couple different areas now. We got the Kennedy Hewitt question. A lot of people are saying, can they coexist? You've got the TDK Pitnet, and they've got the Wieders Young. We've got a couple of these questions across the park now.
The TDK Pitnet one is interesting. We're coming up against Freo, who is a bit of a taller side. I feel like they've got what is it, Tracy or whatever his name is. They've got Jackson.
Darcy's out.
Oh, Darcy's out. Okay,
I think he's still hurt. But look, Young. I think Kemp comes in over Young. I agree with you there, Carl. I just feel like as a I feel a bit more assured and composed with Kemp playing with leaders. But anyone catch the VFL game?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. It was a bit weird seeing Mark Pitton at leader disposals for the team.
That's
good
wild
game
to me.
Building his case for a return.
But he only had, what, 20 punches or something?
25.
That's
I
massive.
can't see him coming back in, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think he's going to struggle to get back into the side.
His tap work is good, and we saw this last year, right? His tap work is great, but then once the ball's in motion, he's quite.
He's got
slow.
no tank, but he runs out of gas real quick.
Yeah.
But against the bigger ruckman, where you might, TDK might struggle for the whole game, I think, and obviously Harry attended, I think, 8 or 10 centre bounces. So you're probably going to want. It's a long season as well, but loving the engagement in the chat. I think there's about 35 years there. It's about 10 or 11 likes. Hit the like button. Get in the comments.
Smash the likes, guys.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Cripps? I think there's something we need to address with Cripps, and it's a positive. He looks so much lighter on his feet. I'd love to know what his current weight is compared to last year, because he is just moving so much smoother with so much more freedom. And I don't know, and he's still busting through packs, so he hasn't lost size. But I feel
it's
like
not the weight. It's not the weight. It's he's playing like a man that knows the world's not on his shoulders anymore.
Yeah, well, possibly, but he's running fast. He's never been the fastest, but he's running like he was outrunning some of the younger players yesterday. Friday, he was he looks a lot lighter. He looks a lot healthier than he's been, over the last few years, and that includes his Brownlow year. So. If you're an opposition player or a coach, you're looking at Cripper and you're like, he's even statistically, he's had a pretty great start to the year, and I think it's flown under the radar.
He wants the flag.
I think he does too, and I mean we all do, but I'm loving what I'm seeing from Cripps, and I think because of Harry's, work this year, I think that's taking away a bit from Cripps. So, yeah, I'm really, really happy to see him just move so freely through the middle, busting through packs without using his, he's not really using his force anymore. It's genuine finesse. So, I mean, there was one where he just literally split 2 or 3 players just right in the middle and just got through and ran, and he sprinted right past them. When do you see Cripps do that? So yeah, I mean, kudos to Cripps for getting his body right, and the Carlton team, the fitness team, because we're always on the fitness team's back. We're always on their backs about injuries, about players not being fit enough. So hey man, good on you for getting Cripper right. He looks touch wood.
Good observation. Moss is the resident fitness guy. Moss is the resident fitness guy. Any thoughts?
No, I think he's probably increased his supplementation around the amino acid profile. But no, we'll shit aside. He's definitely doing something right. Definitely doing something right. He does. A good point, Eddie. He does look fit. Probably. He used to do a little bit too much. Or try to do a little bit too much and get pinned on that. Third and fourth tackle. So maybe he's getting the easy one out, sort of getting a bit of support in the midfield as well. So it is good to see.
Scotty Tompkins in the chat has actually provided us the answer for why he's lighter. He's gotten rid of the mattress that he was playing with towards the back end of 2023. So thanks, Scotty, for that. Appreciate it.
Also, John Holden, agree. Cripps is on Shilajit, Moss. If you don't know, Moss is an ambassador.
He's an ambassador. I'd say celebrity, actually.
He's a celebrity. He's a celebrity.
He's doing TV ads now, Moss.
There is a few videos circulating. A friend of mine actually got me onto this Shilajit a few years ago. It's a really good a supplement, a really good amino profile, a mineral profile as well. Maybe Paddy Cripps is taking Shilajit, but it's good stuff.
Are they sponsoring the potty? Or?
We'll see if we can get onto them, eh?
Yeah. So anyone who'd like to sponsor the potty, hit us up.
Slide into our DMs.
Naked.
Just quickly, can we put footy aside for 3 seconds? We're setting up a GoFundMe for Musa's broken Samsung. If you want to chip in.
Been a rough day.
That's why I was a bit upset if anyone notices a bit down.
Had the phone, 2 weeks or something like that, 2.5 weeks, and happy days.
Jeez.
Bigger problems in the world.
S24 Ultra, cracked screen.
Samsung, if you're listening.
You'll see it on Marketplace
Samsung, love
somewhere
to sponsor us.
Samsung Australia.
Can we talk about the second quarter?
Yeah, of course.
Because I loved what I saw from the team in the second quarter. We really restrict. I mean, for most of the second quarter, we let them back in. I think they kicked the last couple of goals, maybe. But it was just nice to be put in control and then actually hurt the team on the scoreboard. We were kicking pretty straight. Again, field kicking was pretty good around the ground. And I absolutely love our willingness to, as soon as the opposition turns the ball over, I love how we just quickly shoot for the middle of the ground. We're ready to just pounce through the middle and punish the opposition. It's something we haven't really done in the past. Not done well anyway. So, it's been really good to see us do that. And I read a stat that I think only GWS, I think we're second to GWS for scoring from turnovers.
Yeah.
And also, spot on. I think they mentioned it on Fox Footy somewhere, one of the shows where we were corridor use. We were like 11th or 12th last year. We're number 2, I think 2 or 3 this year.
Yeah, behind you.
So it's very, good.
Well, we're winning.
Great
We're
observation.
finding ways to win in ways that aren't our forte. So, like last year, it was contested ball. This year, we're winning in ways that we were 11th in last year.
Yeah.
So, hey, man, bring the grand final on.
It's looking good. Another thing that I've realized is the rotation, or just the amount of rotation that we have in our midfield now. I mean, we saw Chera playing off, the half-back line for quite some time in that game. Now, I don't know if it was just like a test because we're playing North, and no disrespect to them, but also disrespect to them. But we saw Chera playing the back line. We saw Elijah Hollands introduced into the midfield, and he had a cracker over the first game. Kennedy's playing in the forward line, coming into the midfield a bit. Our midfield is looking so damn good. It makes me think maybe over the last couple of years, I mean, the names in the midfield haven't really changed that much, but maybe we just ran out of legs towards the end of each game with the midfield that we had because we didn't have those rotations there. Now that we do, maybe it's just sort of getting us to push through games more. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think probably structurally it's a combination of let's go back to sort of what we've built being the system in itself, where players like for like can go in and just do the job, get the job done. Rather than bring a player off that can't play that role, there's a few more utilities who can sort of bounce around and just fill the role within itself. Kennedy can rest in the forward line, take a mark, kick a goal. Chera can play that lock defence role. Like you said, there was a fair few movements that I've sort of found that, hang on a minute, what's he doing there? But it worked. And it's probably sort of goes back to the game plan and the structure that we've got, sort of players being able to move around and just get the job done.
Good call, Moss. I think it's very system-based, what we've been able to do. And, like Moss said, just building a team that's very similar, where we're all kind of like for like in that midfield. Like we used to struggle finding anyone outside of Cripps to get a contested ball in the midfield. Now we've got contested balls in the midfield. There's plenty of contested ball winners. There's plenty of outside run now. Elijah Hollands, what he was able to do is great, and he built into the game. So it might have started off a bit, I wouldn't even say slow, but probably wouldn't have started as he'd like to. But by the end of the game, he had a ripper. And that's a testament to the system that allows players to build into a game, because everybody kind of gets a chance to get their hands on the ball. Whereas in the past, it was either Cripps or bust. No one else was capable of holding that responsibility.
Yeah.
So
what we've also got is we've got players with big tanks across different areas of the park. So you got your Cripps, You got both the Hollands boys run all day. Cottrell had 7 touches, ran 16 Ks. A lot of stuff went unrewarded, right? Fogg is a bull. Akers Akers is at full back, then he's at full forward, and then he'll go and spoil the ball at full back or take it in set mark. So we've got endurance players, and even though we might lack speed at certain times, like if you look at the midfield and say it's not the fastest midfield, you got guys like Kenny in there, Kennedy, Cherry's not the fastest, Hewitt's not the fastest, Cripps not the fastest, but we sort of address that and mitigate that with the endurance of these players, and we can run out these games. We can play a solid 4 quarters.
Yeah. And let's not all forget that we still got Sam Walsh to come back in, and Jack Martin, and Silvani, even though he's a year out. But we've still got some big names to come back into this side.
Well,
You know that meme where the chef is about to put those chips into the fry, and then the flames just shoots up. It's like adding Walsh to this Carlton squad.
Yeah.
I saw on Instagram today that Walsh returned to training, and it wasn't heavy training, but was able to move good and, get his hands on a footy. And that's just great news. I was really worried that, surgery was back on the table, and touch wood, I hope we avoid that in the long term as well. But I'm excited for Walsh, man.
Yeah.
If anyone can give Sam Walsh a few extra or spare back discs.
Well, I'll tell you what, Shilajit.
Question in the chat. Now, I know that we've already spoken about Marchbank, but Nazi in the chat, do we all agree Marchbank is the answer, or do we piss him off and keep Kemp in, who I thought was stiff to get dropped?
I think Marchbank's the answer.
Yeah, I don't think you can get rid of him.
I think he's far too talented, and what he showed in the back end. So when he came in last year, a bit slow, been out the game for a while, but once he got used to the speed of the game, once he got his feet back, man, he's good. He's the real deal. Kempy's great. Don't get me wrong, Kempy's great, but I'm taking Marchbank, a fit Marchbank, over a lot of players in the league.
How old is he?
March would be mid 20s, I'd say. He was.
No, I think a bit older than that.
Mid to late 20s. I remember we got him a couple of years before COVID. Him and Kennedy
27.
from GWS.
27.
27?
Nice.
Well,
Let's not forget, him and Kemp have had some pretty debilitating injuries in their careers as well.
Here's the thing, right? If you had to pick between, like you say, Marchbank and Kemp, you definitely take Marchbank, right? We agree on that. But would you get rid of Kemp? Because then I'd rather bring in a Chincotta.
No.
You can't get rid of him.
What's Lewis Young doing then? Nothing.
Depth.
Depth. But
How much depth does the salary cap hold?
Yeah.
Who do you take out for Chincotta? This is what we were talking about the other day.
It'll be Zach Williams. It'll be
Zach Williams. Well,
Zach
you got to look at it
Williams
like this. He kind of becomes depth.
Yeah.
Zach Williams, Adam Sard,
Nick Newman, they're playing
Nick
too
Newman,
well.
You can't drop him.
Yeah.
I
This is a
think
good
if
problem.
Marchbank, if Marchbank cleans up his errors, which I think, it's hard, yeah. Like, I think being out of the game for so long, and he hasn't had a fair run even since coming back. So once he cleans up his skills, I think he'll be invaluable to us, and I think he will be a premiership player.
This one's interesting from Cadtrick. I feel Kemp is more of a Gov replacement because he can't defend one-on-one. I think Gov can defend one-on-one.
I think McGovern can defend one-on-one too.
Yeah.
Not
But
at the level of.
Yeah.
he does. I think he forgets he's a defender sometimes, and plays like a forward.
Kemp or McGovern?
McGovern, yeah.
McGovern. I feel like and maybe it's his license. Maybe Voss has just said to him, "Hey man, you're good enough. I got full faith in you." But I think sometimes the way he even sets up with his opponent, it's almost like he's the forward. So, hey, we're 3-0, yeah. We're 3-0. So
quick shout out to Amanda Wills in the chat. Long term, always tunes in. Long term follower. Hey guys, how much do you feel relieved when you see Weeders on the field? You know what it reminds me of? Like I said, it makes you feel safe and secure. You know those WorkSafe ads when the kids are with mum and they're like, "Oh, is Dad coming home?" You know, and they're like, there's that emotional music in the back, and then Dad walks through the front door, and it's like
That's what
nice.
Weeders is.
That's what Weeders is. Weeders back in this slide is like that WorkSafe ad when
So you're
Dad's
saying,
home safe.
So you're saying Weeders is WorkSafe? Weeders is the WorkSafe inspector that drops Dad off at home.
Where's the dad that comes back, hasn't had debilitating work injury, or he's come back in, the kids run up to him, give him a hug, whatever. There's that emotional reunion. That's what him coming back reminds you of. You feel safe.
Just before Dad walks in, Weeders goes up for a speaky. Love it.
I think Wiedering is and I'll say this, I've said this for years now, Wiedering is the best defender in the league.
Hey.
I don't care what the All-Australian selectors say. They don't know anything about football. Darcy Moore.
Jacob Wiedering is a better defender.
Kira Knightley cannot. Bro, he can't even... Bro, he guards grass. He actually plays on grass, bro. Wiedering is a genuine one-on-one. Remember when he took all those marks last year and everyone was like, oh, he's the greatest defender. Oh. Yeah. I'm talking about Kira Knightley. Everyone was like, oh, he's such a great... But we were kicking it to him. That's when we were playing like spuds. And we were just like kicking it straight to him. We made him look... And he was guarding grass. He had no direct opponent. So, I don't know. I reckon Moose could play that role and look better than Kieran.
Oh, absolutely. She'll legit, no problem.
Yeah, 100%. I'll tell you what, we better start getting money off this stuff, man. Yeah. He said it 4 times now. I'm counting.
Moose is getting $10 every time he says it.
40. He's on 40.
Loving the engagement in the chat. Almost 50 of you. Smash the like button while you're there, or if you haven't subscribed, get around it. We love having you guys tune in.
Absolutely.
Catrick just dropped another great question.
Yep.
Is Motlop is 100% comes in. Who comes out? Always or Durden?
I'd go Steph. Ooh, yeah.
Or anyone else. Does anyone else come out?
I thought Durden had a pretty good game.
He had 4 touches, kicked 2 goals, right?
Yeah. So what do you want?
He impacted. He's a small forward. He impacted every chance he got. I'm taking Motlop over Durden any day of the week.
No, Fantasia's not a given either.
Fantasia's there for depth. Yeah, we knew that. We're playing Motlop over Fantasia as well. So I'd rather have. I don't know if I'd rather have Durden or Fantasia as a sub. Because I think Motlop is a starter. I think he is a genuine talent. So
I think you'd rather Speed come in.
Yeah. Who would you boys take out?
So the lock at the moment for Fogarty is untouchable.
Absolutely.
Fogarty in that forward line is a lock.
Pressure.
How good was the tackle pressure?
A Fogarty tackle is you can't get out of it, right?
It's a lock. It's a lock. That's it.
Fog tackles, his pressure, the stuff he does off the ball. He just finds his touches, whatever it is. His work is fantastic. So for me, he's a lock. Motlop, as you said, on talent, speed, what he can bring, he's got to be there. If he's fit, he's firing. He's got to be there. I really like what always brings. I do. I feel like he's a multifaceted player. I'd love to see a bit more front and center and crumbing because he's been. I don't like necessarily when we keep sort of targeting him in the forward line with the long kicks. Like he's a good leader, but sometimes I've seen him go in the contest and whatnot. He's more stay front and center. So I think always for me, but
how good. I don't know if you boys noticed, but I remember talking to Mus and Carl about it. I was sitting next to them. There was a contest where we actually had a small forward be front and center. Yeah, and we go to the footy every week and we always cry out, where are the smalls being front and center? And there was one and he, I don't know if he got the ball, but he ended up getting it. I think like later on, a few seconds later, he ended up
2
getting
handballs later.
Yeah. But having someone in that spot, and I just think Motlop is a freak at getting himself in the right spots. And hey, he's clutch. Don't forget what he did in finals. He's clutch. So personally, I'm taking Motlop over Durden, and it's not even a close contest for me.
Yeah, same.
Fair. Another solid question from Nazi here. What about Jack Martin? Who comes out?
Always goes straight away. See you later.
This question has given me nightmares because I was speaking to George about it, our friend George, and who could you what a great position we're in.
Who do you take?
Has to be always. Always is the only like for like. It has to be always.
I don't think they're like
probably
for
the
like.
last 2 weeks anyway.
They are absolutely. You can't.
Holland, yeah.
Nah, no chance.
Which Elijah?
Yeah.
No
But that's the
way.
thing that if you talk about role at the moment, like if you talk about not talking about form or who, like in terms of who would you, but if you're looking for a like for like or relatively like on paper, who's going to be the replacements, right? So we've got the smalls out of the way, we've got the key position players out of the way. You're going to talk about Elijah Hollands, always. Not even Cottrell. Like Cottrell's role is a high forward pushing to the wing. You can't, right? No. So this is a very, very tough call, right? It's Elijah showed. Well, that Cunners as well. Cunners as well. Like
I'm worried for Cunners.
He won't play.
If we're fully fit, with if Hollands keeps improving, if he keeps building, where does Cunners fit in?
He doesn't.
Do we know that Martin's found his calf? Is he okay? His hammy, his knee,
for it. What was it? His hammy?
Oh, who knows?
Or his calf?
I think it's his hammy. It's his hammy.
He got another injury while recovering from an injury, right? Which is
interesting.
Very Jack Martin.
It's fair to say always is safe.
But it is a very valid question.
So what's the change this week, do you reckon? It'll be only...
I think
Cripps is 50-50, yeah?
Oh, no, yeah, Cripps.
Is he a genuine 50-50?
Like
having a baby.
I think she's due.
Not him, his wife.
Yeah, she's due to give birth.
He said he's flying separate to the team. He said he's flying. He's not flying with the team. So
that's a bit selfish, to be honest.
Sammy D talking about Jack Martin gets injured in his sleep. Tell you what,
yes, he gets injured in his dreams.
Sometimes I wake up, I can't move my neck for 3 days. So I don't know. Me and Jack, same.
Apparently, Cripps is coming up with us. So that's the rumors.
Yeah, he's jumping in with the Monday Blues. We're giving him a lift
in the back.
These questions are solid. I'm actually quite enjoying this like Q&A style review. It's really good. It's really good. Keep the questions coming.
You know what I liked during the game? Not the injury, but the North Melbourne player that went down. Who was that? I don't know. Anyway,
Coleman Jones.
Oh yeah, I like the way the forwards got together, the mids got together, and the defenders got together. It wasn't all one group. I actually enjoyed that. It was good.
Did you notice that no North players went up to him?
No, there was a couple. I did see when he would come off the stretcher towards the
it?
end. Yeah, just one or two though. Wasn't many though.
Yeah,
You're right.
I don't know. Like usually when there's a big injury like that, a few of the boys get around him and just even just a check, have a look, make sure he's all right.
They probably hate him.
Sard went up. I did see Sard go up and
he did.
Waitering did.
Pretty poor.
7 left a comment. Imagine the car ride of Cripps trying desperately to convince Moose that Harry isn't useless.
It's a long 7.5, 8 hours, mate.
Imagine Moose trying to flog off his bloody Schiller shit.
Listen, useless is a really harsh word. I wouldn't say useless, but yeah.
I'll tell you what, you've called him a lot worse than useless.
I'll tell you what now, he's going to have to get in the bakery, Harry, and get a bit of humble pie from us at this rate, because he's not going for Coleman. He's polling Brownlow votes now, man. This man he's got some Brownlow votes under the belt now.
Hey, after round 1, I'm not gonna lie, I did a cheeky little, just a little 20 on Harry. Just
gamble responsibly.
Had a bonus bet.
What, for the Brownlow?
Yeah. Hey, he's polled. He's probably
think he'll get. He won't get an invite. But anyway,
I reckon he's probably on what, 6, maybe 8 votes now.
We going Brownlow? Or...
Are we going Brownlow?
Yeah.
He wasn't at the BNF.
Mus is presenting it.
Actually, that's why Harry wasn't at the BNF. Mus was there. That's why he didn't go.
It was Buckley.
So, after 3 games, right? We're going to have a hard run now. Our run is kind of tough now. Play Freo, Adelaide, I think the Cats, GWS, and then I think Collingwood and Melbourne are not far behind them. So after 3 games, where do you guys think we rank in the entire league?
Top of the world. We're winning the AFL, the NBA, and the MLB.
Based on
honestly, where do you rank us?
I'd say top 4. Definitely top 4.
I want a number. Where do you rank us?
Third
best? Who's better than us?
I reckon there's 2 teams. I reckon there's 2
Us and
teams.
GWS.
Yeah, Sydney and GWS. I reckon at the moment are playing very, very good. Good for.
It's only been 2 games. It's 2-3 games. You can't discredit Brisbane or Collingwood just yet.
But from what you've seen now, this is what I'm asking. From what you've seen now, where do you rank us after 3 weeks or 3 games? And some teams played 4. I think Sydney's played 4. So where do you rank us? A number. You ranked us a 3?
It's probably going to be 2.
Yeah,
2 now, probably just behind GWS.
Yeah,
Georgie.
I'm going to say 2. I just a call out to, I think it was Jonathan Brown who made a silly comment about Carlton's beaten teams, winless teams. Now, okay, if we put this into perspective, the Brisbane game, not a single person had us beating Brisbane, all right? And one of the best away wins in the last few decades. Now, the chance of beating a winless team in round 0 is 100%, okay? So it's going to be a winless team. The chance of beating a winless team in round 1 is 50%. I'm going to get statistical here. Again, the next round is 33.3%. So, yeah, it's the first 3 rounds. There's going to be some winless teams. I think
they hate us in the media.
Silly comment, and how great it is to see when you watch shows like Footy Class or whatnot. Now, when there's no bad news, the first few segments, Carlton don't even get mentioned in the first few segments, let alone the whole show. It's like there's nothing to pick on right now. So silly comment, John O'Brown. But no, look, I'll say number 2 behind GWS. I like their forward line potency is scary. Their midfield is stacked. They've just got a really, really good. Before it was a couple of years ago, obviously, when they were sort of run a bit down, it was always about Toby Green or bust. Jesse Hogan is in scary career best form. Brent Daniels is kicking goals everywhere. Callum Moore, the young kid as well, he's doing well. Andy, I'm keeping my select GWS Coleman predictor card because I'm a chance here.
Hey, you are.
But no, they've got a really good squad. So I think the next month is going to be a really big test for us to see how we go against some challenging opposition. But I think based on what we've done, and I don't even think we've even gotten out of like 3rd or 4th year. Like we're traveling well. Brisbane game was insane. We've still got some great players to come back in. And like if you look at last year, we didn't play our best footy for a while. Like we had a really good few games, but we didn't play it till I really felt like the Collingwood and Melbourne games towards the end of the season and the Port game was where we started to play some insanely good footy.
Yeah.
So you've got us at 2?
2. That was a long way to answer that, but it was 2.
That's right. Carl?
Got us right at the top, man.
Fucking oath, bro.
We fear these teams. Why don't they fear us?
100%.
Our
I'm
midfield's
with
better.
you 100%.
Our forward line shits on their forward line, and our back line's better than their back line.
100%.
Bring it, you dogs. That's what I've got to say.
Absolutely.
If you don't like it, put it in your mouth.
There's not a team better than us in the league. If at our best, there's not a team better than us.
Yeah,
there's not a single team that can beat us.
Agreed. But big but. I don't think we've gone out of second gear yet. And this is why you said based on current form.
Yeah.
That's sort of why I said us at our best and them at their best, we would shit on them.
Yeah.
But based on what we've seen currently now, that's probably.
I don't think. So Sydney showed today that they don't like pressure coming back at them. They don't like that. And they showed that against Essendon too. Essendon took it right up to them, the scumbags. Yeah. So like, yeah, they took it right up to Sydney, and for 3 quarters, they really struggled. And maybe Essendon just ran out of legs or whatever. Richmond showed them today, or was it today? Yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
just how to beat Sydney, and that's with pressure, and that's our game. Our pressure is relentless.
But that's what Richmond brought to us as well. Don't forget that. It was a very similar
we held
game.
up, bro.
Yeah.
We held up. We defended a lead for 8 minutes. A single-digit lead for 8 minutes. We defended that. So don't sleep on the Blue Boys.
GWS hasn't beaten anyone good. They played Collingwood and they were down and out or shit first round.
Yep.
And they've only beaten North and West Coast.
Yep.
There you go.
Scotty Tompkins put that in the chat just a few minutes back, and I had a look. And Collingwood, who were winless, John O'Brien. North, who everyone's beaten North, and they won by 39 points. We beat them by 10 goals, and then they beat West Coast by 65. So they haven't really played any. They've played winless teams too. So I retract my original.
There you go.
Bit of confidence, boys. Bit of confidence, yeah.
We need Carl at the 3/4 time rev up.
I think so.
3/4 time huddles.
On there.
Carl in there.
Absolutely.
Look, guys, just put us not straight down the corridor, straight in the mouth.
Stuff the dogs.
Let's get into some votes.
Let's do it. 3, your 1 vote, 2 votes, and 3 votes. And for those watching along, feel free to chuck your votes in. Your Brownlow votes, let's call it, or your TMB BNF votes into the chat.
We'll start posting them on Instagram too, so people can keep up. We are going to give a trophy to the winner, the playing winner.
Yeah.
At the end of the year. So we'll catch Harry Mackay in the streets and just throw a trophy at him. We'll get Moose to do it. Just Moose has to hand him the trophy.
All right, Georgie.
I'll go a quick consolation vote to Marvel Stadium. I'm pretty impressed with some of the upgrades over the off season. Before we get into the players, actually, Amal, we did have a bit of a joke about it. I did say that there's some great new facilities that probably could have had a few extra food places, but they went hard, unfortunately, on the bars. And everyone who tuned into the Richmond review, that little story we had there, not allowed to drink at the footy because of the fact that we win every time I don't have a bev. Sucks for me, but great facilities for everyone. But yeah, looking forward to our next home game, Marvel, seeing our seats in the social rooms and all that. I'll go 1 to actually a quick special mention as a player to Hollands. Right, he built into the game. His second half was fantastic. He's really talented. I can't wait to see what he does this season. 1 is for Cripps. A real captain's game. He's breaking away from tackles, packs, winning the contested footy. Always great when he gets on the scoreboard as well. So, like I said earlier, and Andy mentioned that he's playing lighter. And, he's playing like a man that has that bit of the weight off his shoulders, that knows that it doesn't just fall on him. We've got some really stacked names in the midfield that can help out and really damage the opposition. I'm going to give 2 to George Hewitt. He was a beast at the clearances. His first half especially was fantastic. Set up a lot of our play, really got down and dirty and really done a role that Cripps had to do and shoulder along with the inside and outside work as well. So 2 to George. He was great. Got a goal as well. I think it was the first goal actually. Yeah. So good on him. 3 to Harry. I feel a bit validated in the preview. I said 52 points. Harry's going to mark everything and he's going to kick 6. I think it was 56 in the end. Harry kicked 5 and he did bloody mark everything, honestly. 10 marks, could have had about 20, to be honest. He was everywhere. And a bit of time in the ruck. The man's now getting Brownlow votes. So he's it's interesting because so many people we speak to, Andy, you and I think there was the bloke at Fred again, the Collingwood supporter. There was the guy that owned the card shop in Brisbane. There was all these people that they all said the same thing to us off season, pre-season, end of last season. They all said the same thing. They're like, you know what your problem is, or you know what you need to do to take that next step. They all said the same thing. Trade Harry.
Yeah.
They all said the same thing, right? And there's supporters that said it. There's people that thought it or whatnot. But how good for him to come out 1, 2, 3 weeks in a row, have a fantastic preseason as well, and just look insanely confident. His run up is a bit different as well. Don't know what it is. He's done a lot of different things. Whatever it is, keep doing it, Harry. It's fantastic. 3 votes, Harry.
John Holden in the chat. 1 vote to Elijah, 2 to Chera, 3 to Harry, 7. 1 North's ill discipline. Yeah, the 750-meter free kicks from
call.
memory.
Good call.
2 Elijah Hollins, 3 Big Harry. Omar, Harry for 3. Catrick,
Love you, Holmes.
Catrick, 1 goes to Cripper, 2 to Harry, and 3 to Hewitt and Nazi, 1 to Cripps, 2 to Harry, 3 to Chera. Carl, I'll throw it to you.
My vote's same pretty much as Georgie, but I give my 1 to George Hewitt. He had, I think, 26 touches. I think 85% efficiency. We don't give George Hewitt enough credit, to be honest. He does a lot on and off the ball, obviously. 2 to Cripps, Bull. He always stands up. Didn't need him to stand up on Friday, but he's always there. And 3 to Big Harry Amos. Don't look down. Look at me. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
I think I got a bad internet connection here, gents. I got to.
Yeah, you do, huh? Yeah. Every time Harry's mentioned, it goes off, huh? Yeah. Nah, Harry's for 3.
Go on, Moose.
What do you want?
Start with your 3.
Yeah, right.
Look at him. He hates this.
You know what? Elijah Hollins had a fantastic game. First game. I'm going to give him 3. 1 to George, 2 to Elijah, and 3 to Mackay.
If anyone didn't hear him, that was Harry Mackay. I'm just going to put it up in the chat.
You know what? Keep it going, and I'll keep looking like an idiot. Yeah, he had a good game. What can I say? A fantastic game at that. So, good game, Harry. 3 votes.
Well done, Moss.
George.
George,
No,
done,
I've gone already.
Yeah,
Oh, well
Andy.
done. It's in the chat now. There's about 60 of you guys in the chat. Hit the like button if you haven't already and subscribe. But loving the engagement.
My 1 is going to Hewitt. I thought, for all the reasons you boys said. 2 to Cripper for everything I said earlier. And obviously Harry gets my 3, but it's not just because of his goals, right? He took 10 marks. Only 3 were contested, right? So that means he took 7 uncontested marks. Now, usually you'd think uncontested marks for a player would be like, he just got the easy ball or whatever. But he's a key forward who had a man on him all game. That is a testament to his work rate. For Harry to get up the ground, especially I think it was the first half, he took 2 or 3 really important marks. When the game, look, it was never out of a stressful game, but he took marks when we really needed a mark. And his work rate off the ball needs to be commended. And this is something I was always defending him with. When Moose, especially me and Moose, were having these arguments last year, I was telling Moose he's had his best year apart from goal kicking. And if he gets that goal kicking right, people will notice him, will notice his off the ball stuff as well, or his down the field stuff. His chasing, his tackling, and his marking, his ability to find space as a key forward down the ground is unlike any other footballer in the league. And right now, the conversation shouldn't be, is Harry one of the best forwards in the league? It's Harry is one of the best players, period, in the league right now. Take forward out of the equation. He's killing it all over the ground. And it's time to give him his flowers as a general footballer, not just a forward. Amal.
Drop the mic, Andy.
Yeah, big time.
Well said.
Even though it's still on, actually, but yeah. 1 to 1 Hewitt, 2 Cripps, and 3 Matty Cott. No. Harry Mackay. I think enough has been said about his performance and for the others as well. A good win, a satisfactory win, 10 goals, almost there. And we've got Freo coming up next in Gather Round on Saturday evening. Now we'll be driving up on Friday morning, which I'm looking forward to. It's a bit of a drive, but first time in Adelaide for me. but you guys, and it's going to be the first time for me traveling interstate for a game of footy. So I'm very, very excited about
You're
that.
gonna love it, Amar.
It's going to be good.
Anyone wants to come? I've got 2 spots in the boot left.
Hey,
Messages
if anyone's
on
down
Instagram.
in Adelaide and you're there for gather round and you see us around, come down, come say hi.
Come
We're
say hi,
very
Moose.
approachable. We're not,
We'll
come
be at
say
the
hello. We'll have a
the
chat. We
footy-
always love talking about footy. So
Yeah.
We'll be at the
Anytime,
footy festival. Most of the day. The footy festival was a lot of fun last year. There was there's a few rides, caravans and whatnot. Probably one of the funniest things was on the day we were playing Carlton Adelaide on the Thursday. Adelaide fans were flocking everywhere. Carlton fans were flocking everywhere. And for some reason, in the afternoon, they had the Port Adelaide side just hanging out near some of the rides and stuff like that. And they looked like they were getting harassed, right? They were getting booed. They were getting just, hammered and pillaged by all the Adelaide fans. And Travis Boak I walked near Travis Boak and he saw me in my Carlton polo. And he walked up, and you'll never forget this. And he goes, "Hey mate, I'm Travis. Nice to meet you." I'm like, "I know who you are, man." He's just nice to see a friendly face because everyone hates me here. They were genuinely copying it. The poor Port squad. But it was really cool. They were hanging out with the fans. I think some of the Sydney and the West Coast players as well were hanging out that day and just literally hanging out, having a chat, taking photos, having a kick with the kids and stuff. So if you're going, get around to the footy festival. We'll be there.
absolutely.
Looking forward to it. Absolutely looking forward to it. We'll do a preview before the game, before we drive up. And as the boys said, if you guys are going to be in Adelaide this weekend and you see us around, come up, say hi, let's have a chat, talk footy, talk anything.
Legit.
We'll talk shit legit.
I know there's traveller packs if anyone interested. I'm not doing anything.
Cat trick in the chat. My money is on
Hey.
Andy to get arrested.
Well, am I getting arrested? What did I do? In. If you see me getting arrested, help me out, man. Put a cop in a headlock or something.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, I like this. I like this going live thing
It's not bad. It's not
for a review.
bad.
Might.
Hey, let us know in the chat. Should we keep this up? Should we keep going live on a Monday night for a review, or should we go back to the old
5
ways? Yeah, let us know.
And just for everyone, our long-term listeners, people that are new listeners, new subscribers that are tuning in, our level of organisation is 30 seconds before we hit play, right? We don't have a run sheet. We don't have it's a WhatsApp group chat. Hey guys, what time? And then, kids are in bed, whatever it might
post
be.
some snippets of it, I reckon.
Oh my god!
And we get on. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Play. Right?
There is no planning.
Look, I'll be honest. The reason why we actually went live, it's all my fault, right? We were supposed to record this
Friday night.
Friday night, right? I didn't know if Mus was coming on. Carl was 50-50. I think George and Andy were the only ones on, right? I'm trying to put my kids to sleep, and I've conked out. And these boys are waiting. they're on
Cancelled
the speed. Yeah.
I thought you were dead.
I thought I was dead. I woke up at 5 a.m. for suhoor,
Woke up
and
dead.
I'm like, oh crap! I've slipped on these guys, and that's literally the only reason why we're live tonight is because we couldn't find another time. But it's worked out.
See, they love it in the chat. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I reckon we
Why need to make a decision there? Eventually.
something to think about,
Hey,
boys.
just quickly, my mate Bruno, shout out to Bruno watching. He just
On
said
you,
to me,
Bruno.
we talk back to the supporters. He goes, he must admit Port Adelaide supporters are the worst he's ever witnessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Andy, that old lady,
that lady, that lady, giving it to that guy.
There's a few. We met an Adelaide fan, and he said Port.
Do you remember he
fans
thought
are-
we were the same Arabs that he saw earlier that day?
I saw 2 blokes with beards on Glenelg Beach. Is that you guys? It's like we're the only 2 blokes with beards in Adelaide.
Racist.
I love it. The really casual racism in Brisbane and Adelaide is fantastic. But we were told by this Adelaide fan that Port fans are the Collingwood fans of Adelaide, basically. So it's an interesting call to find out.
They are. They seem pretty feral on TV. I was watching the Port Adelaide game this week, and as soon as
How
the camera's
funny.
on them, they're just like.
How funny! There was one like part I saw where there was one guy. I don't know what he was doing. He was just being like whatever, And then there was a
He's better
guy
call
next
him
to him
supporter.
just doing these ones.
Please tell me you saw the Bailey Fritsch goal in the fourth.
No.
They
the
were
one from the boundary.
when they were hammering. They
Yeah.
played Port. Was it Port? It was a Bailey Fritsch, right?
Yeah.
They were hammering him, absolutely hammering him, and he turned around and the commentator said, you don't need any lips readers for that, because he basically said "F you," and he had a few choice words at it. So go watch the fourth quarter. The Bailey Fritsch goal. He does not hold back to these Port fans. It's fantastic
I'm
viewing.
going to suss that out.
Scotty Tompkins in the chat. One of them was missing a hand. If you watched it and you saw,
What? What?
he was like,
Oh no, you can't say that.
We're
This
gonna
is very bad.
We're gonna get cancelled by the Disabled Association, you guys.
Stop bullying.
Wrap it up. It's getting
Right,
late.
boys.
Hey, it's pissing down here. It's low
Get
key.
down here.
it's really bad. It's really
Yeah.
bad. Anyway, this was fun. I think this is going to be the usual moving forward. Hopefully, if we can get it
Semi-permanent.
organised 15 minutes beforehand every week. Thanks for joining. Thanks for keeping us. Thanks for being very, very engaged tonight. Like, the questions were fire. It really kept the conversation going, and we really, really enjoyed it. Catrick Catrick says, "Please smile."
Facts.
It's been a pleasure. And until the preview on hopefully Thursday, maybe Wednesday, maybe after the game, we'll find out. We'll let you know. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you soon. It's good night from the Monday Blues. Cheers, guys.
Sick now.